I never planned on slipping into substance abuse, but what started out as having fun here and there quickly spiraled into endless nights away from home, multiple missed phone calls, and hopeless nights filled with highs to numb the pain away. Before I realized it, the escape became a routine I couldn't break. Days blurred together, and I found myself withdrawing from friends, skipping responsibilities, and hiding the damage I didn't want to face. The worst part wasn't the physical toll, but the feeling of losing myself piece by piece. I had become another statistic found on the reservation as someone stuck in a destructive cycle and feeling there was no way out. Eventually, one terrifying night made me realize I couldn't keep going. Reaching out for help was terrifying, but it was the first time in months I felt hopeful again. My story is often found throughout tribal communities and among urban tribal members. Despite generations of continued upheaval, substance abuse among American Indian, Alaska Native communities is a serious and ongoing issue, but it cannot be understood without looking at the broader historical and social realities that shape it. American Indian, Alaska Native communities experience the highest poverty rates in the U.S., and the combined effects of poverty, historical trauma, and systematic racism contribute to disproportionately high rates of substance use. In 2023, 25.3% of American Indian, Alaska Native individuals had a substance use disorder, far above the national average. These inequities weaken traditional support systems and disrupt cultural connections, increasing vulnerability to addiction. Access to treatment is limited by transportation barriers, lack of insurance, poverty, and a shortage of culturally appropriate services. Western treatment models often overlook American Indian, Alaska Native cultural values, highlighting the need for community-based, culturally grounded interventions. Tribal identity and cultural continuity, such as language, tradition, and intergenerational teachings, are powerful protective factors that strengthen belonging and resilience. American Indian and Alaska Native worldviews emphasize holistic healing and self-reliance, guided by values such as seeking truth, making connections, responsibility, discipline, and confidence. These interconnected values support wellness across mind, body, emotion, and spirit. Research reinforces the impact of culturally grounded strategies. A 2021 UCLA study explored the use of personal social network visualizations within a culturally tailored motivational interviewing program for urban American Indian and Alaska Native emerging adults. Participants, including youth, parents, and providers, reviewed diagrams showing their social connections, substance use patterns, and involvement in traditional practices. These visualizations were found to be highly acceptable, intuitive, and culturally relevant, helping participants recognize who supported or discouraged substance use and who encouraged cultural engagement. Although some youth felt discouraged when seeing many network members who used substances or had few healthy connections, the approach overall strengthened insight into social influences and highlighted the importance of culturally grounded, community-led prevention. A 2024 JAMA pediatric study further emphasized the role of culture in American Indian and Alaska Native substance use outcomes. Among 514 American Indian and Alaska Native 10th graders, pain interference was linked to increased alcohol use and prescription opioid misuse. However, strong tribal identity buffered the relationship between pain and alcohol use, reducing reliance on drinking as coping. No such effect was found for marijuana or opioid misuse. Together, both studies showed that cultural identity, belonging, and relational supports are powerful protective factors. Effective prevention must leverage cultural connectedness, intergenerational continuity, and community-centered strategies, addressing both social network influences and broader impacts from pain, trauma, and systematic inequities. Together, these findings show that cultural identity and relationships, community-centered approaches are essential for preventing substance use. Social networks and pain are major risk pathways, but culturally grounded strategies such as visual tools, traditional practices, and identity-based supports can effectively strengthen resilience. In sum, addressing substance use within American Indian and Alaska Native communities requires more than conventional treatment models. It demands approaches grounded in cultural identity, community strengths, and indigenous worldviews. Poverty, historical trauma, and systematic inequities continue to shape health outcomes, but cultural continuity, tribal identity, and holistic healing practices remain powerful sources of resilience. To truly support Native youth and families, we must build prevention and treatment programs that honor these strengths rather than override them. It is essential that policymakers, school leaders, and health institutions invest in culturally responsive treatment options so that Native communities can access the care that they deserve. Only through meaningful, culturally grounded action can we begin to break cycles of harm and promote long term healing, wellness, and sovereignty for future generations.